morning. My name is Osama. I was born in Pakistan, which has the best biryani in the world, no matter what anyone else says, hence the picture. When I was 15 days old, I moved to Saudi Arabia. So I grew up in the Middle East, speak broken Arabic, to study in Malaysia, because at the time when I finished my A levels, it was a time when having the name Osama, a Pakistani passport, and lots of Saudi entry re-exit stamps uh, couldn't get you near an airport flight to fly to the West, let alone anything else. So I decided, look, if someone gave me good advice, look east. So I looked east, and I went to Malaysia. Um, I was really only given two options, growing up. And my parents were very, very specific. I could either become a neurosurgeon or an accountant. I don't know why they came up with those two options. I don't think they know either. But I had to choose one. I did not like the sciences at all. It was the only thing I struggled with academically at school. So I decided to become an accountant. Hence, I researched that like the UK is a great place for accounting, and I applied to many, many jobs in the world, filled out over 99 applications. When the first rejection comes through, it's depressing. After the 10th, it's like, right. But eventually, after interviewing quite a few, I managed to get a job in London, started my career with BDO. And the reason I chose this job, because I had two offers. I had Deloitte in Nottingham and I had a BDO in London. Is is just because when I was being interviewed by the partner, he asked me all about my family, my background, my interests, how I enjoyed cricket, drew me a map. There was no Google Maps on smartphones at that time, on how to get to Lords. Whereas the Deloitte partner was all about competency after competency and more questions. So I was like, I want to work in a place which values me as a person. So hence I chose BDO. One of the things which really helped me in my career was I did have a gap year because I graduated at the height of the financial crisis. So the whole thing got deferred, but it was a Pakistani version of a gap year, right? So my parents sent me back to study, and they and they were like, yes, to do your accounting, because I had my job secure, these are the exams you have to do, so just do them in advance. But I am grateful for that, right? And I think our common backgrounds, the drive which our parents has is an asset, which really, really helps us. And sometimes we take that for granted. But that really helped accelerate my career because there was no college to go to. Whilst the rest of my intake were spending 8 weeks going to Kaplan, I was working because I did not have to give those exams anymore. So whilst yes, I did not go traveling the world, which would have been impossible on a Pakistani passport anyway, um, but I ended up just accelerating my career. And then genuinely, I was lucky to have some amazing mentors, right? He gave me lots and lots of tips, and I'm still in touch with them. So that's a common theme coming out. Everyone you've heard from. Somehow or the other, I became an expert in energy and natural resources, which I still claim to be. I spent lots and lots of time in oil and gas, mining, diamonds, gold. Spent lots of time in West, South, East Africa, Far East. Seen lots of amazing things. Would be happy to share those stories at another time. But each one of those helped me build my character. After I finished with BDO, when I got my indefinite leave to remain, the first thing which you do if you're in a professional services firm is you look to leave. So I started looking elsewhere. I joined another professional services firm, KPMG, in 2016 and switched careers to become a consultant, not knowing what that actually means. But we produce pretty slides. We offer solutions to any problem, as I've realized. And currently, I am on a secondment in Saudi Arabia. So 360 degrees back to where I started. I am towards the end of my secondment and I'm looking to extend it because the Middle East is a great part of the world to be in at this time. when my role in KPMG is to bring revenue and sales, and when the West is going down economically, the Middle East is powering up and up and up. So it's actually pleasantly surprised to be in a country which is economically thriving, because the news is different, people's perspectives are different, the conversations are different to what I was used to in London. Um, and just briefly, right, the three key lessons as I've learned, and a lot of these themes are uh, common across what you've heard, right? But the first is, you have to drive your own growth. The common themes across what you heard from Ali, Maya, Arafat, and from the ones who present as well, right? Is, I decided to do something else. I was becoming complacent. I did not enjoy what I was doing. My mentor was not driving me well enough. So they felt that need to drive themselves. So if there is one thing you take away, right, you have to do it yourself a little bit, right? No one will do it for you. There will be amazing mentors to guide you through this. There will be amazing mentors to coach you, but you actually have to take that step yourself towards growth, and then it's not easy. The second thing is genuinely invest time with your mentors, right? The more time you spend with them sharing, because they tend to be removed from what you're doing, so you can share more with them, it really, really benefited me, right, throughout my life. And I still speak to, just before coming on this call, right, in a life in the Big Four isn't easy. The reason I'm wearing this suit is not because I want to look smart in front of you, it's because my day hasn't ended, right? And it's 8 p.m. and my kids want to me to go with them and go to bed. So it is challenging. That's the nature of the career I've signed up for, right? So we need to spend a lot of time with mentors navigating through that. And I was just talking to my mentor, the person who helped me accelerate my journey, because when I joined KPMG, I think 3-4 months later, I'd resigned because I was like, I'm done. This is not for me. I want to leave. I was living, no offense, Arafat, in Leamington Spa, not far from it. I was actually on National Grid, one of the toughest projects. I've spent 2-3 years on National Grid, so I know that organization really well. Um, and it was tough. It was difficult, and I was going through a difficult phase. But then the people who pulled me through literally held my hand, and I took back my resignation, which is quite rare, 2 months into a 3-month resignation period, because I was guided by someone, and it was the best decision I ever made, because my career did accelerate because I followed his guidance and advice. So invest time with your mentors. Trust me on this. Sometimes it's annoying, but it really value. And the final thing you would have noticed, the common theme, and I'm sure you will continue to notice, is that leaders in general have amazing soft skills. So yes, academics matter, yes, grades and all of that, but the ability to talk, what Ali was talking about, the ability to make people laugh, the ability to navigate through problems, the ability to command a room, the ability to find a solution in a problem is I'd say perhaps far more important as you accelerate through your career than any of the technical skills you will gather. At the end of the day, it comes down to soft skills, right? We sell, we've got big sales targets, and I'm sure Maya will agree to this. There's lots of people who are selling the same product, the same service at the same level. And what then differentiates you is the relationship you have, how much trust they build on you, how you got on in that first conversation with them, right? So it does come down to this. Yes, you need your bases, but then it does come down to the soft skills. So that is me, and I am new to Migrant Leaders. I feel slightly ashamed, right? This is my first meeting, and I've just been assigned my first mentor. And the reason I'm doing that is I think it's a great investment, right? So yes, I'm in Saudi. Yes, it's tough, but I want to invest time in this, hopefully to pass on. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Osama. It's a very inspiring story, career story of yours.